Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Since my last Valentine's Day video was like 6 years ago, it's time for a bit of an upgrade. Today we'll be going on some dates, and by dates I mean platonic adventures. See, I'm taken already, so I started thinking, is it even possible to play these games with the intent of just being friends with these romantic interests? To start this off, 2 years ago I made a joke about this game.
There's literally a dating sim where phones go on dates. I love the indie space, but what is this?
Now, it's time to finally play it. Now I could be wrong, but this might just be a game using the Ren'Py visual novel engine. This game has multiple choice answers introduced by a talking dog. After typing in our name, he berates us for choosing that name, and now we must choose a type of head. I chose typewriter. Next is gender, and I chose boy. This dog right off the bat is hilarious and sets up the game as very comedic. Our character feels the need to go to a carnival while the narrator announces, causing a rivalry right away between them, as well as the ticket guy, because all we want to do is lay our eggs somewhere safe. These dialogue options so far could be very platonic, as our character knows nothing about Valentine's Day. We can imply to go on a date with the ticket guy, which I did as a joke, but he was not too happy with me, so I lost that route. So far, so platonic, so good. This starts chapter 1, and we can't lay eggs in our tent because there are birds around who would steal our precious eggs. I now have the option to give up, so I chose that, and the narrator attempts to convince me to not do that. The stress makes us lay eggs, and we have dodged all possible character development. We then have an existential crisis, and during this crisis we meet Randy. However, we already know today's mission. But then, in a turn of events, we personify the narrator as a sock puppet and go to the movies together. Honestly, props on the dev for making it this difficult to not go on a date. However, we know today's mission, so I'm going to be the most plutonic date giver in the world. Anyways, I got the ending where I am removed from civilization for dating a sock, so no, I don't believe you could play this game platonically, because as much as I tried, it eventually forced me into an ending where I wanted to get a joint bank account with the sock. Oh shoot, I forgot to pay my taxes! I can't believe this is real. It is a way to do your taxes where it literally asks you for personal info in order to fill out a form. In this world, we just moved into our apartment and run into Iris outside a cafe. Immediately, I regret typing my username as my name since, oh no. Anyways, right out the gate, it asks you a question that will be on a tax form, and a date gets set up without you even choosing it. Now is the part where I sabotage the date, which I'm trying to do. I say I'm married, and she realizes that I'm already taken, and right there the game ends. Yes, you can play Tax Heaven 3000 platonically. Oh my gosh, that made me laugh. My introduction to this game was from an indie game showcase where the developer made me laugh.
I love the innocent, wholesome vibes.
In this game.
It kind of reminds me of Katamari a little bit.
Think of it more like a short hike, but stupid.
That's good.
Are you okay? No. Is my mother proud of me? No. Can you have sex in the game? No. But there is some plans for DLC. Because
Oh my
just
gosh.
like in real life, you have to pay extra for that.
I love this developer already. I love this.
In building
Oh
relationships.
gosh.
Wish us now.
This was like the funniest showcase of the entire stream.
Man, what am I doing in my life?
Last summer, Day of the Devs featured
That was
a
good.
little-
After that showcase, I had to play this game. I've been waiting to play this game for months, and I'm very excited to see what this game has in store. I know the dev compared this to a short hike, but personally I see it more like a Katamari type of game. We are on Happy Island with this apartment, where bachelor pads reside, so I'm already wondering how we can sabotage this. Well, for one, we can choose not to go to the pads and instead platonically go to a fishing side. Well, that was fun. We can also find coins around the island instead of going on dates, so there are plutonic elements, but going to the bachelor pads makes the music immediately change to smooth jazz, which is a little bit of a worrying sign. However, so far so good. Now we are on a picnic date, where we have to build a table, which, although I was not expecting this to be a renovation game, turns out furniture is food in this universe. After beating the main quest, the rest of the game is quite plutonic, since it is an open world game with secrets galore, and exploring gives you certain rewards. But for the most part, since there are multiple choices and dialogue, and this game gives you freedom, I'd say yes, you can play this game platonically. On December 27th, 2019 is Parasite. This was always one of those games I kept seeing in the store but had no idea its association with DigiPen until recently. We are met with voice acting, and already I love the aesthetic of this game. Khan is the host of this dating game show, and the vibe of this game is very comedic. We must set up our account by answering totally real questions. We are a virus that is teaming up with its host to take over the world using this game show. So it's a visual novel, that's also a comedy, that's also a platformer, that's also a dating show, that's also a game show, that's also a shooter. After choosing who to date, because this game actually gives you that option, this is the first game from this publisher that has actually made me laugh so hard. I love that the other person has a tolerance meter where the more you talk to them, the more they tolerate you. Wow, just like real life, but unlike real life, you can retry dates as many times as you like. Also, I just got the name of the game. Oh, that's clever. Once our date is successful, since we are a virus, we infect our date. And if we do it enough times, we can control the president of the world, or at least Khan thinks so. This character named Dan is literally just Johnny Bravo.
Hey, baby. Name's Dan.
You can commit to people to gain popularity of the site and gain new skills. Kate the Cook is probably my favorite character out of all of them, however, and total opposite to that, Annie is that annoying, high-pitched anime girl, and most people just think she's annoying because they delete their accounts after talking to her. Yeah, sounds about right. Especially with the emotional whiplash of choosing the wrong answer for Annie is actually hilarious. But can you play this game platonically? I'd argue yes, since you play as a virus whose sole job is to take over the world, who just so happens to control these people. Okay, how about a harder challenge? Can you play a game called Speed Dating for Ghosts platonically? This game lets you meet a bunch of different ghosts, or you can just say no thanks and the game ends. Okay, so you can play this game that way, but can you talk to various ghosts in a platonic way? Once we play this game again, the host has a different dialogue tree, which is a nice touch. Then we choose one of 3 rooms, and I chose the black room. In a way, isn't a platonic date just like friends hanging out after one date, then another, then another? I found the dates to be platonic in their own ways. The first date was just talking about random stuff, the second turned out to be rude answers, the third was just straight up horror. Multiple rounds later, and now we choose a date. Considering I upset Hattie, we'll go with her since there is no way she wants to be around me. However, the game remembered, so I went with Dre since they acted more like a friend to me. We start to haunt a person's house together, and that was it. So it is possible to be platonic depending on which date you pick. Although Dre thought this was a date, but haven't seen them since.